Hello my dear friends, this is Pooja Lalwani and this is the last video lecture of your ETC subject. After this video lecture, our ETC subject completed. So if you have any query regarding the any topic, then contact me. Okay, so let's start our last topic, unit number 6. There are the self-development and the self-assessment. So in this unit, we have discussed in the last two video lectures, there are the various words are considering in the unit number 6 regarding the self-development and self-assessment. So we have already discussed in the last video lecture session, there are the various words, and in this video lecture I will discuss about the overall last 5 remaining words. Okay, so let's start. So topics are considered here are first of all assess word, then after think, then after communicate, then after relate, and then after dream. So dream word is asked by in GTU examination 2090. So if you have any query regarding the any word, then you can contact me. So let's start. Our first word regarding this video lecture is assess. Okay, so it's simply meaning, what is the meaning of assess? Assess means what? Assess means evaluate, means you have to analyze yourself. Okay, whenever you work in any field, okay, like as a student, as an engineer, as a, we can say in your personal life, you can also assess your qualities. Okay, so assess is a very important, assessing is very important in your personal life. You can assess, you can analyze your personality, that how I am and how I was. Okay, so what is the meaning of assess? There are the content regarding the assess. Assessment is very important to see the progress. If you assess yourself, then and then you can evaluate yourself, that how much we can say that you can easily evaluate yourself, and you can easily analyze that how I develop myself, how much I develop myself. Okay, then after, it provides the insight on whether and whenever whatever we are doing is correct in the right direction or the intensity. There are the assessment is necessary for you. You can easily imagine or you can easily identify that whatever you are doing is correct or not, or is it correct, or is it in the right direction. So you can easily identify that sometimes you are doing the good work, but there are the intensity is lower. So intensity is also considering in your progress. Okay, then after, self-assessment is helps in the finding out your own self. You can easily identify if you assess yourself that I have this type of quality. Some people have like working in the as an engineer, and they have some new qualities, like they have some singing qualities, drawing qualities. So if you assess yourself, then and then you can identify that I have this type of quality or this type of skill. Okay, then after, self-assessment is gives the motivation too. If you're doing your self-assessment, then you can easily motivate yourself that I am doing this work and I also do this work. Means if you doing work as an, we can say as a student, then you can assess yourself that I am working whenever I learn to this way, then I get like 60%. And if I work like different and learn like the different way and very smart way, then I can also develop from my education, we can say education, your from the 60% to the 80%. Okay, your education qualification. So it's given the motivation to you. Then after, we can say there are assessing is like the measuring our progress, and we can do fine tuning with the help of assessment. If you're doing the assessment, then you can tune yourself with your assessment, that if I doing this way, like in the last year I doing this, and in the current year I doing this, so what type of work I do that I can develop myself. So assessment is very necessary. Then after, What are the examples of assessment regarding the organization? So here first example is a product assessment. Every organizations are doing this type of product assessment whenever they produce a new products, or they developing their new we can say production quality. At the time they assess the product assessment. Take the example, there are the Lijjat Papad, which is the food company. Okay, and this Lijjat Papad is started over, we can say, very simple base. This Lijjat Papad company started by the, we can say, there are only housewives who are doing this type of work at the terrace, and then they have to develop their work, and they develop their we can say ideal time to the working time. Okay, they thought that we are doing this type of gossips, why we do why can we do a new things. Okay, so આપણે એવું એ લોકોએ વિચાર્યું કે અમે કંઈક નવું કરીએ, બરાબર. સો દે હેવ ટુ doing a new initiative, અને એ લોકોએ એક નવું ઇનિશિયેટ કર્યું, and they have to started working and making a papas at their apartments terrace, and then after they have to develop first of all from the retailer business, then after to the regional business, and now you can see there are the Lijjat Papad is a one type of brand in the our India. Okay, so they continuously assess. In the nowadays they are also taste their product, and then they can deliver their product to the customer. So it's a one type of product assessment. Then after is a pre-assessment. Whenever you doing the any business, and whenever you try to do a new work, at that time you have to doing the pre-assessment. You have to pre-assess your overall work. Is it possible? Is it viable or not? Okay, then after interim assessment. In the organization there are the always accounting work are considered for the 1 years, but we can say before 1 years there are considering that the 6-month assessment, 4-month, we can say there are the half yearly, quarterly assessments, we are considered as a interim assessment. Then after placement assessment. In your student life you can also doing some type of workshop is conducted by our college, that there are the placement assessment. In this placement assessment there are the students are assessed by the expert. Okay, experts are assessed you regarding your quality, regarding your voice quality, regarding your knowledge, regarding your personality. So it's a one type of assessment regarding the placement assessment. Then after standardized assessment. Whenever you produce a new product, at that time your product must be match the standard. If your product cannot match such a standard, then your product cannot, we can say, use very effectively. Okay, so standardization assessment is also considered in the organizations. Then after performance assessment. In the organization there are the various types of performance assessments are considered by the employer to doing the assessment of the employees' performance. Employees' performance are considering on the basis of their, we can say, on the basis of their production quality, effectiveness. Okay, then after the second one is a think. Okay, so whenever you think very higher, and then you achieve the new, we can say, your progress. Okay, so think. Okay, think means you have to think a new innovative and creative ideas, and then you can doing this new work. Okay, so here is a content regarding the thinking. So thinking itself has a many it's a many perspectives. Okay, thinking has a many type of perspectives. So what are the thinking perspectives? There are the different perceptions, like the don't think much, or thinking is a waste of time, just act, or think before you speak. So there are the various types of perceptions are considered by the people whenever they doing this type of thinking process. So concentrate all your thoughts upon the working hand. The sun's rays do not burn until brought to the focus. This type of things, this type of experiment also done by you whenever you study in standard 10. Okay, right. So whenever you focus the, we can say, that magnifier on the we can say that paper, and then you concentrate the ray of the sun, and then the overall your paper can burn out. So thinking is a very important process. Whenever you think, then and then you do some new things. So this quote is considered by the Alexander Graham Bell. Okay. Then after, firstly, concept over the overthinking. Sometimes some people are only doing the thinking, they cannot doing any work. So not doing very overthinking. Think but not doing very overthinking. Then after, secondly, think a lot but do not act over it. Okay, you have to think a lot but not do very act over it. Then what kind of thinking is good? So sometimes you say that not doing overthinking, not doing the lesser thinking, then what type of thinking we have to do? So analyze the situation and give the objective reply. First of all, you have to analyze your situation, and then after you have to give the reply. Then after, response rather than react. You cannot react very, some people have such type of, we can say, aggressiveness in their behavior, so they can react rather than the response. So you have to respond first, you cannot react very higher. Then it is important to keep our thought focus on our goal, and then it what will we make us a successful. If you think very good and very effective, and then you can do it the some different rather than the other. Okay. So if you think very good and very innovative, then you doing the new different thing that cannot done by the other peoples. So here I consider the one example regarding the new thinking in after this slide. So thinking is a starting point of any action. If you think, first of all, as a company, take the example, whenever you do, you have the, we can say, one type of thought that I have established my new company. So first of all, you have to think about it, and then you can start your business. So thinking is a one type of starting point of the any action. So involves a critical analysis. Okay, there are in the unit number 4, you have to discuss about that, the critical thinking and creative thinking. So critical analysis means what? First of all, you have to analyze that what type of problem I face if I doing this type of new innovation, and try to solve this problem is a critical thinking. Okay, critical analysis. Then after, here provide the objective and the implement solution. If you doing the critical thinking, it's provide the new, we can say, if you face any problem and you have to think about it and try to solve it's as early as possible. So here it's a one example is considered by me regarding the thinking. So watch with the medicine delivery system. So this type of new innovative thinking is considered by Navjot Kaur. There are the study in the class 11 in the senior secondary model school, Chandigarh, and the Vaishnavi Patra, class 9, who is study in the Orissa and demonstrated the multipurpose public school, Khorda, Orissa. Okay, so it's the idea of these two girls, that an idea of a watch which can store and time deliver appropriate dose of the medicine to the person. It's a various, we can say, face these problems too as a old aged person, because whenever the old aged person have a sometimes they have to obsolete, or sometimes they can forget to get their medicine at the right dose. So it's a one type of watch they have to develop, that it's indicate the time and it's indicate the dose that the medicine. So our, we can say, as a family member, we can face a relaxation, and the person can get the right time, the person can take the right medicine, right dose at the right time. So it's a very good concept and very nice thinking is considered by these two girls, Navjot Kaur and Vaishnavi Patra. Then after, the third word is the communicate. Okay, communication is the unit number 1. I hope you will remember this. Communicate is the word derived from the Latin word to is meaning for communicate, and its meaning is to share. Okay. So communication is where we have to discuss in previously in our chapter number 1. So nothing can be accomplished without the communication. If you have a, and we can say, if you have a very innovative ideas, very creative ideas, but you cannot communicate to other people, then how can you execute your plan? So communication is a very important skill and very important process. So it's done by you. Then and then you achieve your target. Then mastering in communication skill is a matter for the practice. If you try to mastering in your communication, then you have to try to practice more and more in communication. Then after, one can receive a lot of new information. Communication means what? You have to share the new information, new idea to the other peoples. Okay. Then it helps in the two ways: sharpen your communication skill or enhance your knowledge. If you try to communicate, then you have to sharp your communication skill and try to get a knowledge from other. Then after, how you communicate with yourself, it's also important. Some people are communicate with their self to motivate themselves. Okay, sometimes you also see that you can also communicate yourself, and sometimes you also see this type of communication happens by the in movies, in some type of dramatical shows. Okay, so it's a one type of communication with yourself is also very important. Then after, some people suffer from the low self-confidence because of the wrong self-talk. Sometimes some people are doing a self-talk wrongly, that you cannot do this, why you should do this. So sometimes people are doing the communicate with them is wrongly, and then they, how can they confident themselves? Okay, so communication do with very effective, and we can say with the motivation. Then after, relate. So whenever you try to remember the things, then sometimes you forgot at the long time, but some things, some we can say communication, you can remember at your end of life. How can you this type of communication, this type of memory you can consider? Because you have to relate this type of things, this type of incidents with the other, we can say, things. So it's a relate is very important. So here is a when you cannot able to relate, not remain for the longer time in your mind. So sometimes some peoples and some students have a such type of skill, that rememorization of their formulas and some skills, that they have a skills that they can easily relate these things to their personal life, and easily they remember this for the longer time. So whatever you read, listen, learn and experience must be related to yourself to remember. So it's help to you to developing a new ideas, it's help to you is for the critical thinking. So when we relate, we look at the complete aspect, and it's help us to coexist with the environment rather than living in the isolation. Whenever you try to remember the one thing without relating, then you cannot you can not, we can say, you cannot try to remember it's a longer time. Okay, then after, there are the last word is a dream. So I hope that some people have always people have a lot of dreams. Okay, so if you have a dream regarding the as an engineer, I will be engineer. Some people have a dream regarding the doing the public services, regarding doing the government jobs. Some people have a dream regarding the doing the new innovation which cannot done by the any person. So dream is very important. If you dream, if you show the dream, then and then you can achieve it. So dream is very important. So any person, as any human beings, have to watch dreams and try to achieve their dreams. Okay, so here is a content regarding the dream. If you can dream it, you can do it. This type of quote is considered by the Walt Disney, which is, you can also know him, that the Walt Disney is a very famous we can say artist, and it's make a very very, we can say, make a very good artificial in their we can say cartoon films. So Walt Disney is very important person and very, we can say, familiarized personality, and he said that if you can dream, then you can do it. So your lives are built when you are learn to build your dreams. So dream is very important. Act as a guiding path toward the destination. So dream is your is a one type of your guide, and try to guide you to your destination. So process to make a dream true always. And even a human being has a unique talent, and they can do wonder with their those talent. Then start to work on your interests and try to achieve your dreams, because if you have a not a dream to be doing this work, and if you do this work, then you cannot enjoy your life. So you have to chase your dreams. Okay, you have to achieve your dreams. So there will be a something for which you will be start a feeling proud of before you realize it become your dream. Okay, so you have to dream, and then after you have to try to achieve it. To have a dream or a goal in your life is a very important, otherwise you will be never know where you ever to you go. Okay, so you have to show the dreams, watch your dreams, and try to follow your dreams. Okay, thank you so much. Here our ETC subject is completed. So if you have any query regarding any topic in the ETC subject, and try to contact me, you can WhatsApp me, you can call me anytime. And I hope that you enjoy, you learn this subject, and this subject is very important in your examination point of view. So you have to learn about it, and if you find any query regarding any topic, feel free to contact me. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much.